operation and other operating expenses. Then there is also the vote one that, general administration, planning and support services, headquarter. That is toward capacity building of MDS and cooperation. Parliamentary affair. That is parliamentary affair chair. That is domicile in the office of the Prime Cabinet. Then there is also vote 1016. That is cabinet affairs. There is an increase of 25 million to enhance the operation. That is the State Department that I had mentioned earlier, that they have been losing. From 900 million, they are standing at only 200 million now. And they are completely almost unable to perform. Then there is a state government performance, that is the GDU, the one that I had mentioned, 30 million to support monitoring and evaluation activities of the GDU, Government Delivery Unit. Then there is a Government Coordination Supervision, that is the office that I talked, the newly created Office of the National Government Coordination, 50 million. Chair, that is the office that I mentioned, that I found trying to look for some support, even from your end. National Police Services, the DCI, we had mentioned that it is extremely underfunded and almost unable to perform their duties, more covert. And the committee allocated 155 million, at least to a bit enable them move. Then there is the office of the DIGAP. For members, normally how this security sector, especially on the NPS, where we have several DIGs and several formations. So AP, mostly these are the people who are in our borders, in Lamu, GTU, Rapid Response Unit, AS2, Border Patrol, and SOG, Special Operation Groups. And the members found that in majority of cases, as it is the case, they are really under distress, and they allocated some small money to bridge the balance, the gap, which is about 60 million. That is operating expenses and extra. Then we have the Private Security Regulatory Authority, known as PRISRA. These people are the one regulates all private security in the country. They have a new regulation which they want to have it operationalized, and what they call a fidelity fund that will enable them, once it is fully operational, they can able to help us even generate A. They expect it about 1 billion Kenya shilling, and they just wanted some money to enable them finalize. And the members allocated that 5 million. There is, of course, the Kenya Coast Guard, which man our legs, and they are really having a lot of problems, even to buy some boats. We know what happened in Turkana, in areas like Migingo. So members allocated some money to enable them for security operation. Then the policing oversight, IPOA, 20 million toward decentralization of IPOA services in far-flung areas. Actually, we are so specific to include areas of Mandera, places like Wajir, because the office they have in Northeastern is only in Garissa. So you can imagine the distance. And of course, to do in other areas of the North Rift. So that is more to expand, to continue decentralization. Last one is in Schedule 2, and that's total chair to 700. The increase is total to 783. Now, where we got the 733 now is indicated in Schedule number 2. 400 million came from Vote 1011, which is capital transfer to the National Fund for Disability, which had got 1 billion Kenya shilling, but in the BPS it was only 100 million, so they had an increase of almost 1,000%. So we got 400 million there. Then we had the State House, 100 million. We had Vote 1017, Office of the President, which is expenditure rationalization. Then we have the headquarter domestic travel that is now in immigration under the program or headquarter domestic travel, 43 million. Then under the program other operating expenses, 20 million. under the program of maintenance, refurbishment 35, under the upgrade of IPRS 100, and another 45 from UPAI, 20 million from e-citizen subsidy domestic travel, 20 million from e-citizen subsidy purchase of furniture, and that takes us to the 783 equivalent to in the schedule number 1. You note the majority of this came from the migration, and but you noted, Chair, almost entirely their money is supported by A&A, so just little from Exchequer. So that is all, and I want us to take us to, that's what I'm going. So that is what we managed to get, Chair. And lastly, we go to the last schedule number 3. Having made observation on that I had earlier read, and having done the issue of proposed additional and reduction, we could not close the gap. And we are making a plea before you of the following item, so that you get mercy and help us in this. That is schedule number 3. First item is a garment printer. Chair, you noted that we managed to get about 123 for the garment printer to acquire at least one equipment. They are still in need of 600 million to acquire one of the modern equipment also, so that they can able to perform their duties optimally. The other item here is the Government Coordination Supervision Headquarter, 200 million, that is the Office of the Prime Cabinet. They require 200 million to support the operation. The other one is the National Police Service. Police recruitment, Chair, I talked that we want to recruit 10,000. But the budget we have now support only 5. And all of you know that we have never recruited for the last 4 so years. And we are making a plea before us here, before you members, that you look as an additional 3.4 billion so that we can able to realize the recruitment of the whole 10,000. And so that at least we'll be in a better footing and space toward preparation for the election 2027. The other one is the Mbagathi Hospital. I had mentioned that that hospital was undertaken and it is becoming a white elephant. Before the Gen Z, the drop of the financial year, last financial year, these members allocated 700 million. Actually, your predecessor, who I'm happy he's here, remember, he really supported us. And this committee allocated 700 million. But we all know what happened. The finance bill was suspended, then we lost the whole money. And ever since, we have not able to realize. So we are making a plea to you to help us get this money. The police insurance, I had mentioned that majority of the recurrent budget in the National Police Service, actually 7 billion, is going to insurance, but we still have a big gap, about 9 billion. And so we are making a plea. On the security operation, members, you all appreciate the critical role being played by our men and ladies in uniform in the National Police Service to make this country safe. And despite very restricted or very minimal resources, they are giving their best, but they are struggling. We are making a plea to you, members, kindly look, support us to add another 8 billion to facilitate security operation across the country. And even under this, we had factored also some of like security roads, which, so it's not indicated here, which only has got 20 million in this estimate. This budget, security road, that we all know the important role it serves in majority of the northeastern, the North Rift, you know, to enable our National Police Service even to respond to distress call. But in the estimate, it has gone only 20 million. So we are asking you, members, to help us get more money so that we can able to continue opening up our areas to address security in those areas. Lastly, local presidential visits. We are asking 760 million to facilitate national functions. We know now we have a policy where national functions rotate across the country, and we all know the impact. In fact, for those of us, I don't know if anybody come from Homa Bay. They were giving us testimonies of how Homa Bay look like now. It's like a whole news. How beautiful, it's very beautiful. And even Narok, we had some national celebration. We opened new roads, new bridges. So we had also appreciated the importance of rotating this national function. And we are constrained of resources. We are asking enhancement of that vote to a tune, by a tune of another 700 million Kenya shilling. Then we have the national cohesion celebration. I think that is more or less the same, toward coordination of national celebration. On the other page, on the last page, we had mentioned security operation, I think earlier, and I think, I don't know, it's a repetition.
No, this for interior.
For interior, yeah. The other one for police, for interior now, they have got security operation of, is it 900 million? And but they have a visit 900 million, 700 billion.
7 billion.
Yeah.
Total.
Yes.
But
yeah, in the security total operation is 7 billion, but we have the multi-agency. Multi-agency made up of the NIS, KDF, police, and several actors, which have only 900 million, which is normally too little. So we asking, and is coordinated by the national administration, the OP, the interior. Lastly, their down members, there is the issue of operationalization of new administrative unit. We all know that it has been a big case. It was before Parliament severally. All of you here has got either a sub-county, a division, a location, a sub-location, including even one we did open in Narok recently called Amalo, belonging to one of my colleagues here, and many of us here. And last time when I presented a statement response before the House, I told you that we need 2.4 billion to realize operationalization of all these units across the country without additional, gazettement. And we only have got 500 million provided in the budget. So that tells us we have a big deficit. And I'm making a plea, Chair and members, that look a place to get like 1 billion plus the 5 billion. At least we can able to address almost 80% all these units that belong. Even your Vice Chair, and as I know, some unit in his place that we have not able to operationalize because of the budget constraint. Also down there, we have the integration of village elders. All of us know the critical role played by village elders. They have been doing it for free. I think is even against the labor laws to continuously having somebody giving services but not paid. Of course, we could not do because we didn't have a laws to support the same. That is why we have a bill before us that we wanted to legislate so that we amend the National Government Coordination Act to have them recognized in law so that we can able to do remuneration. We have already village elders policy. It's in advanced stage. It is undergoing validation. I think there was a meeting yesterday or the day, yesterday, with the stakeholders so that we able to validate the policy so that these village elders will be officially recognized so that we can able to enumerate them. And we need money to do that. All of us in our constituencies, in our counties, know the critical role played by these Kenyans. And of course, there have been an issue of how much. I also remember, and I saw my brother here, the former chair, another big forum really talking so strongly about the same. Malulu went to the grave championing this, and many of you, I've seen many of you even in forum talking about this. So we need some money, Chair, to help us do this. Lastly, the issue of motor vehicles, motorcycles for chief is a policy. It is the medium-term plan that we continue supporting our chiefs, Ngao officers, at least the chiefs with the motorbikes, so that they can able to help us do their mandate. And the last time we did was 2014. Yeah, we all know the chiefs, the motorbike they have. In fact, personally, with my CDF, and Ketela, you can attest to this, I bought, supplemented, I implement, what do you call it? I supported a bit in buying for the rest who did not get that time to close the gap through the CDF. So I bought several motorbikes, and I can tell you, members, it does wonders. It is a game changer, at least in response to their duties. So in total, members, we are making an asking of 34.82, roughly 35 billion, to able to address the gaps of the critical services. And chair and members, I submit.
Thank